it seems to be an ongoing discussion we have depending on the topic on our weekly show about what is carried over from Urban Meyer to Ryan Day. Well, one thing that Urban Meyer was able to accomplish is refocus his team after a disappointment in being left out of the playoffs. Notre Dame, USC, Washington, all huge bowl games, but after a disappointment of being number 5 in the country and not number 4 and reaching the playoffs. So he was pretty good about being able to do that. Now Ryan Day's placed in that circumstance, and we'll be able to see for a coach, for whether right or wrong, has a Michigan loss tagged on him that's going to be interpreted certain ways versus his predecessor. Now he's in a similar situation in which he's got a major opponent and bowl game, but it's not the playoffs. So is he going to prepare his team?
That's interesting because I think those other 3 teams are all similar in terms of I don't think they're as physical and kind of nasty as Utah. Like Utah is going to get into a fight, and I don't know that those other programs did, and Ohio State could just out-talent them. I don't think Ohio State can just out-talent Utah without matching some of that physicality. And yes, Ohio State is more talented than Utah, but it doesn't. I mean, it's the whole Mike Tyson, get punched in the face, and you see how ready you are for that sort of thing. And whereas Ohio State in those other games could just they had so much more talent, and they would get up and they could just keep the opponent at arm's length. And I don't think you can do that with Utah because Utah is just going to keep swinging, and Ohio State's going to have to match that. And that. It is interesting that this is I don't think this is some big statement on Ryan Day or whatever. I mean, Urban Meyer in 2013, you lose to Michigan State, you lose to Clemson, and the end of the world looked like it was coming, especially when you lose the Virginia Tech game to start the second game of the 2014 season. So referendums, I think it's a little early for that for Ryan Day because he has gotten the team to the playoffs his first 2 years. And then the Rose Bowl as a consolation, that shouldn't be a ding against a guy. But this is Ohio State, and you don't want to start backsliding in terms of expectations. I remember thinking if Ryan Day can just keep Ohio State between where Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer had him, that's about as good as you can hope for. And he's done that. But then you have a season like this, and it's like, well, they need to be better. And it's like, but are we asking too much? I probably not. But is anybody going to get fired for going to the Rose Bowl every year?
I think not.